deal with it together.
Only thing you know at that time, the bodies were all in the homes.
Yeah, they brought the bodies to the home.
Yeah. Yeah.
They did that with Yents too then?
Yes, they had a, Nori can tell you about that. They had to haul up a snowbank to get the body back in.
And tell us about it.
What? What's this?
Oh, it was full of snow, the yard. And Keith had been driving the tractor up and over the top of it all the time. It was practically ice. We had to chip our way through it. Finally, we got the old walking plow up, and then we plow field strips, and that's when we scooped.
Oh, with a plow!
Yeah. And we'd scoop. Then we got down so that the hearse could get in, and they could have their funeral.
Yeah,
Nobody had anything but a scoop shovel at the time.
well, see, this was back in.
They didn't have loaders or anything then.
Now, where'd they put him in the living room then?
Yeah, in the living room. Yeah.
Which wall?
On the east wall by the east window.
Oh, okay.
But they quit that long ago, you know.
Was that something that was kind of traumatic? Or was it just normal, so I mean it didn't...
We accepted it. That's the way it was.
It was traumatic on the kids.
It was, yeah.
Because it was usually quite a few days, wasn't it, maybe?
Well, 2 days, generally, 2
A day or
3.
so before the funeral. And this was in the winter time, of course.
Generally about 2 days.
Yeah, then we bring them back to the church and Jerry wasn't very old. He was only a year and a half, I think. But he recognized Dad laying there in the coffin. He says, "Papa."
Huh.
Yeah. Of course, he talks early. You know. But I'm sure glad they do it differently now.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you'd have nightmares after that. I mean,
No.
don't you think so? Or worry? I remember the first time I had someone close die, I worried about ghosts, you know, his
Did
ghost
you?
being around. And no, nothing like that. Well, going back to some of the rules of the house, what if you or the kids broke any of the rules? What would happen?
Well, if the boys got too tough, they got a licking. With a stick, too.
Oh?
Yeah.
What kind of a stick? Was it a special one or a washing stick or?
Mother had a washing stick she sure threatened us with. But it was mainly threatened there. But Dad did get angry, at, especially Gordy. He was always teasing, you know. He did get a few wallets.
But he wouldn't tease his dad, though.
Oh, yes, he did.
He would?
Oh, yes. It was a monkey shiner.
Do you remember any particular times that they got in trouble and what they did for it?
No, I can't remember what all they did. But they didn't always obey orders. That was it.
No, apparently there was different punishment because you were a girl.
Yeah, that had something to do with it. I was threatened, but that was about all.
Gee.
Yeah, how about that?
How easy them girls get by.
Uh-huh. I'll say. Anytime anybody needed any help in the whole family, can Virginia please come and help? That wasn't very darn big either.
How would your parents have described the discipline in the homes that they grew up? Do you remember them telling, when I was young, my parents would have never let me do this?
I think they were quite strict, especially in the Norgard side. They were very strict. And I think Grandpa Faber, he kind of handled, well, he was a little too lenient maybe with some of the boys, wasn't he, Nori? They would all come home over the winter and just lay around and do nothing.
They needed a good clobber in someone.
Yeah, they just laid around, did nothing.
Well, that sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, they worked all summer, so they thought they could have a vacation in the wintertime.
Do you remember any stories that you heard when you were growing up? about the old country or anything like that?
Well, my grandfather Faber was a wonderful storyteller. But he would tell what we call Mulbo stories. There's an island on Denmark someplace. I'd have to see the map of Denmark, but they had the darnest accent, and it was just like Polak stories.
Oh,
Oh, I just wished I had some of those, because they were just like the Polak stories. And he sure could. He was a good narrator.
so he tell that you're telling more like jokes than,
They were.
yeah.
He was sure good. I think you've heard Joyce Wittenbeck, and some of them tell stories, haven't you? They can
Yeah.
keep on and on.
Yeah, Joyce is really good.
Yeah. And Harold was good too, Harold Faber. He could really tell stories. Some people have that knack, you know.
And Carol.
Yeah, Carol Eckford. Oh, man.
Oh, I enjoy her so much.
She's quite a gal.
Oh, I enjoy her.
How did you get along with Gordy and Keith and Wayne when you were all younger?
Fine. Till Gordy teased too much. I did give him a whop. You know.
You see a pattern here?
I think they're looking for something.
So pretty much you stood up for each other, you took care of each other, or
Yes, definitely.
so there wasn't much rivalry.
Oh, no.
How many years younger was Wayne?
15 and a half years younger than me.
So did you get involved in babysitting a lot then or not?
Oh, I helped with Wayne, but you know, Mother never went any place to speak of, so there wasn't any babysitting really. He went along.
They always took the kids along them days.
Yeah, you didn't have
You
babysitting.
didn't leave them home, you took them along.
Well, you know,
Kids weren't welcome, you didn't go.
yeah. Guess I was thinking too that if, you know, she could go out and work in the garden, or she could do, you know, just leave Wayne with you and do things on her own for a while.
Yeah, she had a big flower garden. And a big garden.
Big vegetable garden too. Yeah.
You know, I can't remember that garden.
That was west
With
of the
flowers,
house,
I
west of the place there.
Yeah, all the way through the grove.
Mm-hmm.
Over on the west side.
Yep. West and south, right along those trees.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember.
Very nice garden.
I always thought that was a long ways to walk for garden.
It sure
It was.
was.
Yep.
You had to go over the river and through the woods just about to get there.
Yeah.
I suppose that grove isn't near as big now that when you're growing up, but when you were a kid, God, that was a big grove.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
fabulous grove.
You had a lot of fun there, didn't you?
Oh, it's fabulous.
Remember when you stoke up that old cook stove that got carried outside? You guys were started a fire in that old cook stove, and oh, you had fun with it. You too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we just had a blast.
Yeah.
God, I enjoyed
And
that.
you got an old buggy out, and you got
Yeah.
rides in that. And oh my.
It's probably the best times of my childhood was
Mm-hmm.
Daryl and I'd go over there for a week.
And she enjoyed it too.
When you were about that age, how were you prepared for dating? How did they prepare you? Did they?
I knew the difference between right and wrong. There weren't all those pills and all that stuff. And at that time, if a girl got in trouble, you were out of school.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
No, we didn't go in for all that. But some did.
Did they warn you that, hey, these guys, you gotta watch out for these guys, especially, you know, well, we won't say any names here, but there's some that, boy, they're only after one thing.
We knew who they were.
Oh.
Oh yes.
You said your folks weren't too thrilled when you started dating. Your folks were strict about it.
They were strict, but
Like what?
a lot of times I went with my young uncles, and they would take us to show and stuff. That wasn't a date, but I was happy to be with them. Alfred and Harold and Ike, you know, they weren't that much older than 49. So that was nice.
Was there anybody you remember that they disapproved of that you brought home or hung around with?
I didn't bring anybody home that they disapproved of. I knew better than that.
How were you prepared for marriage? Did they give you advice? Did they give you a
No,
party?
no advice. We floundered through it, didn't we, Nori?
Yep.
Were you given a party, an engagement party or anything? Or did you have anything like that?
They had a shower for me.
I got a newspaper clipping of that.
Oh, have you really?
Yeah, it was in Thurnes.
Okay, yeah. It was out by Thura, I think.
How about when you were about ready to have children? Did you know anything about having, the giving birth part of it or
Oh,
or
yeah.
anything like that?
We were farm kids. We knew what it was all about.
So you kind of knew what was going to happen.
The birds and the bees, didn't we, Nori?
Mhm.
We weren't very smart, but not as smart as they are now.
So did your parents talk about that kind of stuff pretty openly then?
Mm-mm. No way.
That was taboo.
That was taboo.
How about your friends? Did you and your friends talk about that kind of stuff?
Some, but not like as openly as they do now. No way.
Did your relationship with your parents change after you two were married?
Oh, we always had a good relationship, didn't we, Nori?
Mhm. Didn't change a bit.
No.
So it was always good, but do you feel like you had more of an adult relationship after you were married, have more in common?
Oh, I suppose a little bit, yeah.
Anything change after you had kids? Your relationship
The
with your
relationship?
parents? With your people?
Oh, they were delighted over there when our babies came along. Of course, Dad only saw one, that was Sherry.
That was his first grandchild, too.
Mhm.
And the only one he saw then.
That was the only one he saw, yep.
And he was a little crackerjack.
What do you mean by that?
Lively?
Uh-huh.
What do you do that your mom always did? Do you do anything just like your mom did? Use some of the same phrases, or discipline your kids the same, or have the same bedtime routine, or anything like that?
Same what?
Bedtime routine. Do you have anything like that that you do that
No.
is a
not
lot
really.
like your mom, or do you see anything in her that's like her mother?
She's asking you, Nori.
Answer carefully. I remember she